When Kim Go-eun speaks, the entire entertainment industry listens. Known for her sharp intelligence and grounded honesty, the actress has built a reputation for answering questions in interviews without filters or rehearsed lines. But this time, one remark during a recent press event became one of the most debated statements in her entire career. The phrase was short, the moment brief, but the impact was immediate. Within hours, it became the center of headlines, trending hashtags, and thousands of fan discussions across Asia. It all began at the press conference for her latest film, You and Everything Else, a project that explores the limits of love, grief, and personal freedom. During the session, reporters asked a series of emotionally heavy questions about how the film's themes relate to real life. When a journalist asked what Kim thought about accepting the final wishes of a loved one, her response was calm, deliberate, and shockingly direct. She said, "If it's their choice, I would say yes." The sentence was simple, but in the world of Korean entertainment, where every word from a public figure is measured, analyzed, and often criticized, it set off an earthquake of speculation. Was she talking about assisted death? Was it a metaphor for emotional acceptance? Did she mean it literally? The media instantly seized on the ambiguity, framing her quote as Kim Go-eun says she would support a loved one's decision to die. Within hours, clips from the event flooded social media. Hashtags like hashtag Kim Go-eun quote and hashtag controversy trended simultaneously on Korean and global platforms. Fans who had followed her since Goblin and Yumi's Cells couldn't believe what they were reading. Some praised her for being brave enough to speak on a subject that most celebrities avoid entirely. Others accused her of overstepping boundaries and speaking on a topic too sensitive for public comment. To understand why this quote became so explosive, one must understand who Kim Go-eun is and what she represents. Unlike many stars in the Korean entertainment industry who maintain strictly curated public personas, Kim has always projected authenticity. Since her debut in Amuse, she's been known for taking roles that defy expectations. Her characters are complex, often struggling with moral dilemmas, human pain, and emotional truth. That same depth seems to follow her off-screen, where she consistently approaches life with a raw honesty that makes people both admire and question her. So when she gave that answer, without hesitation, without attempting to soften it, it was pure Kim Go-eun. But it also left room for misinterpretation. Context matters, and in this case, much of it was lost as the quote spread through social media stripped of explanation. In the full transcript, her answer continued, "If someone I love told me that they had made their peace with their decision, and if that decision came from a place of peace and not despair, I think I would respect it. It's not about agreeing or disagreeing, it's about compassion." But that part was rarely included in the viral posts. The internet focused only on the first sentence, igniting a storm of confusion and outrage. News outlets began publishing opinion pieces about the ethics of her statement. Religious groups criticized her for even discussing the topic, arguing that a public figure should avoid influencing public opinion on such sensitive matters. On the other hand, advocates for mental health awareness and dignified end-of-life discussions applauded her courage to address a topic society often avoids. The story grew beyond entertainment. Suddenly, Kim's quote wasn't just about her. It became a reflection of a larger social debate in South Korea about morality, empathy, and freedom of choice. TV talk shows brought in experts to dissect her words. Columnists wrote about the growing cultural divide between traditional values and the new generation's evolving perspectives on personal autonomy. Meanwhile, Kim Go-eun remained silent. Her management agency, known for its careful media handling, issued only a short clarification. Kim Go-eun's comments were made in response to a philosophical question related to the themes of her film. They represent her personal reflection on compassion and should not be interpreted beyond that context. But silence didn't stop speculation. On online forums, discussions stretched into thousands of comments. People debated what, if it's their choice, I would say yes, truly meant. Some argued it revealed Kim's empathy and emotional maturity. Others felt it was reckless, suggesting she was too casual about a subject as serious as death. Interestingly, those who had followed her career closely noticed a pattern. This was not the first time Kim Go-eun's words had sparked public introspection. Over the years, she has spoken openly about loneliness, loss, and the pressures of fame, topics that many Korean celebrities tend to avoid. Her interviews often read like essays rather than promotional soundbites. She doesn't deflect with jokes or polished PR answers. She pauses, thinks, and then speaks in a way that feels honest, even if it risks backlash. That authenticity is part of why she commands so much respect internationally. Kim Go-eun represents an artist unafraid to be human in an industry that often rewards perfection over sincerity. Yet, that same authenticity also means that when she says something controversial, it lands harder. It resonates deeper because audiences know she means it. Behind the scenes, those close to the production said Kim's emotional connection to her latest film was unusually strong. The story's exploration of life, death, and human dignity had affected her deeply. She had spent months preparing for her role, consulting medical professionals, and even meeting families who had faced end-of-life decisions. Her performance, according to early critics, is one of the most emotionally layered of her career. So, when that question came during the press event, it wasn't random. It touched a nerve she had been exploring artistically for months. Her answer wasn't rehearsed. It was instinctive. It came from the same emotional honesty she brings to her characters. As days passed, the tone of the conversation began to shift. The initial outrage gave way to reflection. People started revisiting the full clip and realizing that her answer had been taken out of context. Long-form analyses appeared on YouTube and in online magazines, exploring what she really meant. Cultural commentators pointed out that her comment revealed the growing willingness among younger Koreans to talk about mental health, grief, and autonomy, subjects that were once taboo. In one televised discussion, a psychology professor noted that Kim's statement highlighted the importance of empathy over judgment. What she said wasn't about death, the expert explained. It was about understanding the emotional reality of someone in pain. That's what made it powerful, and that's why people reacted so strongly. Meanwhile, fans began defending her online, emphasizing her right to express personal beliefs. Global supporters used the controversy to spotlight her consistent integrity and depth as an actress. Many drew parallels between this incident and other moments when her honesty reshaped public conversations, such as when she once spoke about the loneliness of fame or when she discussed body image in an industry obsessed with perfection. By the end of the second week, the controversy had evolved into something more nuanced. What began as a viral quote had turned into a societal mirror. Kim Go-eun's words forced people to think about how quick they are to react, how easily context can be lost, and how rarely authentic voices are allowed to exist without distortion. Her agency, observing the growing support, decided not to issue further statements. Insiders later revealed that Kim herself refused to apologize or clarify her stance beyond what was already public. She reportedly said to her team, "People will understand if they listen carefully." That quiet confidence became another reason fans admired her even more. Ironically, the controversy only amplified interest in her upcoming film. Pre-release buzz skyrocketed. Viewers who might not have paid attention before were now eager to watch it, curious to see the performance that inspired such raw emotion. Industry experts predicted that You and Everything Else could become one of the year's most significant releases, not just for its artistic merit, but for the cultural discussions it ignited. When the film finally premiered, critics praised her performance as haunting and authentic. They noted how her portrayal seemed to carry the same emotional weight as her real-life comment. The lines between character and actress blurred, as if Kim Go-eun had poured her entire soul into the role. In interviews following the premiere, she avoided directly addressing the earlier controversy. But she made one statement that seemed to summarize everything. "Sometimes, art gives us a language for things we can't say otherwise," she said. "That's why I act." That sentence, quiet and unassuming, seemed to close the chapter. But the conversation she started continues to resonate. Months later, her quote, "If it's their choice, I would say yes," is still cited in discussions about ethics, empathy, and the responsibilities of public figures. Some consider it her most controversial moment. Others see it as her most human. Kim Go-eun's career has always existed at the crossroads of art and reality. She doesn't play safe characters and she doesn't give safe answers. That is precisely why she continues to captivate millions. Her most recent quote may have divided opinions, but it also solidified her identity as an artist who refuses to be a performer off-screen. She doesn't act when she speaks.
She means what she says.
In the end, what Kim Go-eun really meant was not an endorsement of any idea, but a statement about compassion. She wasn't telling people what to believe. She was asking them to understand, to listen, to empathize. And that, perhaps, is why her most controversial quote might also be her most important one yet.